Hi, United. We're going to look at equations with binomial numerators. So this is a continuation of our topic from last term. So here's our first question. This is an equation with a binomial numerator. You notice that here there are two terms in the numerator. Now bi means two, so there are two terms in the numerator. So this is an equation with a binomial numerator. Okay, now the first step I'm going to look at to do is I'm going to just write down the word solution. So I want you to copy everything down in this video. Right, so with our solution, we're going to write down the equation again so we can write on top of the question. Okay, so a plus 5 over 6, and then plus, I'm going to leave a little bit of a space here because I'm going to be writing some numbers. 3a on 4 is equal to 5. Now, when solving equations like this, we want to get rid of the fraction part. So the first step I want to do is find out what the lowest common denominator is. Actually, the lowest common multiple, so we'll call it the LCM. So the lowest common multiple is the smallest number that 6 and 4 both go into. Now, the easiest way to do this is to start with the largest denominator, which is 6, and just write down multiples of the largest denominator. Okay, and then we want to see which is the smallest of these multiples that the 6 and the 4 will both divide into with no remainder. Now, 6 goes into 6, but 4 does not go into 6 without a remainder. So let's try the next one. 6 goes into 12, and 4 goes into 12. So the LCM for 6 and 4 is 12. So we're going to multiply everything by 12. So all terms in the equation are going to get multiplied by 12. So let's have a look at that. So I'm going to times by 12 here. Make sure you put brackets around this. And make sure you put the times 12 in line with the numerator. Now we're going to times the second fraction by 12 as well. So put a 12 there and the times sign. And the whole purpose of this is to get rid of the fraction part. Now, we're timesing everything by 12, which means we've got to multiply all terms by 12, which is also the 5 is multiplied by 12. Now we've done that, we can do some simplifying to get rid of the fractions here. Now, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we're going to go 12 divided by 6 is 2. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so we've got rid of those fractions. We're now ready to write down the next step. So we've got the 2 there, 2, and don't forget the brackets that we put in before, 2 brackets. A plus 5 plus, now this is 3 times 3a, which is 9a. And then we've got 5 times 12, which is 60. All right, from there we're going to expand the brackets. So 2a plus 10 plus 9a is equal to 60. Now we can simplify the left-hand side. You notice that we've got the a term here and another a term over here, plus 9a. So we're going to simplify those two together by adding them. So 11a. And then we've still got the plus 10 there. Plus 10 is equal to 60. And then we have subtracting 10 from both sides, so minus 10 and then minus 10. It's going to give you 11a is equal to 50. Now, last step, we want to get rid of the 11 next to the A here. Now don't forget that there's a times sign in between the 11 and the A. So to get rid of times 11, I have to divide by 11, and I have to do that to both sides. Okay, so there we go. Get rid of that. And then final answer, we're just going to leave that as a fraction. So A is equal to 50 over 11. So I'll just put that there, 50 over 11. Don't worry about decimals. You could write it as a mixed numeral if you wanted to. So 11 fours are 44, so we get 4 there, 6 remainder, so 4 and 6 over 11. Don't worry about the decimals. It's better to leave it as a fraction. Okay, so just recapping those steps, you multiply all the terms by the LCM. So step number 1 is to multiply all terms. Let me just rub that out for a minute. Multiply all terms by the LCM, lowest common multiple of the denominators. And once you've done that, then you simplify. Okay, so you divide out the numerators. Okay, so then you simplify to get rid of the denominators to eliminate the denominators. And then after that, you can just kind of solve the equation. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step and third step. Now, if you have trouble finding the LCM and that's difficult for you, what you can do is something else, and you can find a common multiple. So if you can't find the lowest common multiple, you can find a common multiple, and you simply just do that by multiplying the denominators together. 6 times 4 is equal to 24. So instead of multiplying everything by the 12, which is easier, you can also multiply everything by the 24. It's going to create a little bit of extra working out, possibly, but you'll still get the same answer. So if you can't find the LCM of the denominators, then you just multiply the denominators together to get the number. In this case, it would be 24. And instead of multiplying by 12, you multiply each term by 24. All right, the numbers will be a bit bigger, but you'll end up with the same answer. Okay, now make sure you've copied all that down, and then you're going to try the hashtag example down here. So what I'd like you to do is to pause the video and have a go at this question. Okay, so just pause that video. All right, now let's have a look. So we're going to play this video now, and you're going to watch my solution. So hopefully you've had a go at the question now. See how you went. So just like before, we're going to write the question down again so I can write on top of it. 2y minus 1 over 4 plus, I'm going to leave a little bit of space here, y plus 1 on 2 is equal to 6. Now we want to find the lowest common multiple of the denominator. So take the largest denominator, which is 4. I'm going to write down some multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12. I'm going to see which one of these multiples both the denominators divide into with no remainder. Now 4 goes into 4 once with no remainder, and 2 divides into 4 twice with no remainder. So actually, it turns out 4 is the LCM in this case. So we're going to multiply all the terms in the equation by 4. Now remember, when you do this, make sure you put brackets around the numerator. Put the times 4 in line with the numerator, not in line with the denominator. Now, brackets around the numerator, and then you're going to put the times 4 in line with the numerator. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you can now simplify. Now, the 4s will cancel. 4 divided by 4 is just 1, so we'll just cross those out. But 4 divided by 2 is 2, so no cancelling there. We'll just have to simplify. I did forget to, of course, this should also be multiplied by 4, so make sure all terms are multiplied by 4. So that's an easy one to forget. So all terms should have been multiplied by 4. Now, let's continue the question. So the 4's cancel, and no need for the brackets now because there's no number out the front of the bracket. So I'll just write 2y minus 1 plus 2 brackets y plus 1. And this is 6 times 4, which is 24. All right. Now we're going to expand the brackets. So we're going to get, well, this one stays as 2y minus 1 plus, and this is 2 times y, which is 2y. 2 times 1 is 2, so it's plus 2 there. And then equal to 24. Okay, now you'll notice that we have a y term here and a y term here. So we're going to add those together to get 4y. We also have negative 1. And we also have positive 2. So negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. Okay, so there's our equation. And that should be quite straightforward to solve now. So we're just going to subtract 1 from both sides. So take 1, take 1. That gives you 4y is equal to 23. And then last of all, we are going to divide. All right, so we're going to now divide by 4 to get the y term by itself. You have to do that to both sides. Okay, so cancel the 4's there. So your final answer is y equals 23 on 4. And you can leave that as a improper fraction. There's no need to write it as a mixed numeral. You can if you want. And no need to write it as a decimal. Right. Okay. So make sure you've got the same answer as me. The working out is the same. If not, write down the solution. And let's have a look at another question. All right, so I'm going to do this question and then you're going to do the next one. So just make sure you copy this down as well. So we've got the solution here. Okay, so we're going to write the question down again so we can write on top of it. Okay, so x plus 7 on 5 is equal to 2. Okay, first step, we're going to find the lowest common multiple of those denominators. So we'll take the largest denominator, which is 5, and we're going to write down some multiples of that largest denominator. Okay. And there's some more as well, right? Now we're going to check to see which is the smallest number in this list, which both 3 and 5 go into. So you should see that 15 is actually the smallest number that both 5 and 3 divide into with no remainder. So I'm going to multiply every term in the equation by 15. Now remember, for the binomial numerator, we put the brackets around. I'm going to times that by 15. And then brackets, and then times by 15. Now, just like last time, make sure all terms get multiplied by that. Now, this is an easy one to forget here. So make sure you don't forget that one. Now, the 15 should be in line with the numerator. The 15 should be in line with the numerator. Don't put that 15 in line with the denominator because you have to divide them. So we're going to go 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, now the whole purpose of this, of course, is to get rid of those denominators, which we have. We now write down the new equation, 5 brackets, 2x minus 5, minus 3 brackets, x plus 7, which is equal to 30. All right, now we're going to expand the brackets. So 5 times 2x is 10x. Now 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Okay, now you've got to be careful here. This is negative 3. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And then negative 3 times positive 7 is negative 21. So that's equal to 30. Now, we're going to look at the like terms here, 10x, and this is negative 3x. Now, 10x take 3x is just 7x. Okay, next we're going to look at the other like terms. So we've got negative 25 and negative 21. Negative 25 take 21 is negative 46. And that's equal to 30. Okay, so from there, we're going to now add 46 to both sides. And that's going to give you now 7x is equal to 76. And then the last step, we're going to just divide now by 7 to get the x by itself. So divide by 7, divide by 7, that cancels, and your final answer is just x equals 76 on 7, and no need to write that as a mixed numeral or as a decimal, just leave it as is. Okay, make sure you've got that solution down, and then I want you to try the next question, the hashtag example, by yourself. So I want you to pause the video, write the equation down and have a go and see if you can get the correct answer. Okay, so you've unpaused the video. You're now looking at the solution. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just like last time, is write down the question again so I can write on top of the equation. So alrighty, now LCM time. So I need to find the LCM. Right, so I'm going to take the largest denominator, which is 4, then 8, and 12. I'll stop there. I'll notice that 4 and 3 both go into 12. That's the smallest number they go into. So 12 is the LCM. Some of you might be saying, oh, look, Mr. Cooper, I don't have to worry about the LCM. I'm just going to multiply the denominators together. So 4 times 3 is 12, and that gives me my answer. Yes, that will give you a common multiple, and sometimes the common multiple is also the same as the lowest common multiple, but not all the time. Okay, but that still works. So if you're happy with multiplying 4 and 3 together to get 12, and that's how you do it, that's fine. Now, put brackets around the binomial numerator. We're going to put 12 times. Now that 12 should be in line with the numerator. Put the brackets around the binomial numerator and put the times 12. Now I'm just going to rub out that minus sign for a minute to make room for my 12. So I should have a 12 there and then a minus sign there. That's better. Okay, now let's have a look. 12, we can now cancel. So 12 divided by 4 So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, now I did forget to do one thing, didn't I? Of course, I forgot to times the right-hand side by 12, which I have to do as well. Now, so you can see how easy it is to forget to times this one by the LCM. So just be careful you don't forget. Now, 3 brackets 6k minus 1. Then don't forget there's a negative, minus 4 outside of 2k minus 2 is equal to minus 96. Now expand the brackets. So you're going to get 18k here minus 3. Now be careful here. This is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2k is negative 8k. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. And then you've got the minus 96 here. Okay, now we are going to simplify the left-hand side first. So look at the k term, 18k, and this is negative 8k. 18k, take away 8k is 10k. Now look at the other like terms. You've got negative 3 and positive 8. Okay, negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5. That's equal to negative 96. Okay, last of all, we are going to have a subtraction of 5 from both sides. So it's going to give you 10k is equal to minus 101. And last of all, we're going to divide by 10. So divide by 10. Divide by 10. They cancel. So k is equal to minus, well, you could leave it as minus 101 over 10. In this case, divided by 10 is elementary, so minus 10.1 is okay. Or you could have left it as minus 101 over 10 if you wanted to. Okay. All right, so that's the end of the video. Have a look in Google Classroom for the set exercises.